And I'll please welcome our special artist this morning, Gina.
Nice intro. Hey, everyone. So, yes, I'm doing a couple of originals today again, and this first one is actually an affirmation. So, yeah, it's really good. It's called Too Blessed. Oh, yeah. There it is. Yeah, we in a club. Yeah, come on. Don't be shy. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I got everything I could ever need. I ain't worried about the rest. I've been blessed from the Most High, yes. I've been blessed from the highest and the best. So I know I'm always blessed. I don't cry about the rest. Come on, ladies. I'm too blessed to be stressed. What? Well, I'm blessed, too blessed to be stressed. God supplies my every need. I don't worry about the rest. Yeah, I'm so blessed from the highest and the best. I've been blessed from the Most High, yes. God supplies my every need, so I don't worry about the rest. All right, let me break it down for you. You see, I'm blessed with love. I'm blessed with truth. I'm blessed with the truth about who and what I am. I'm blessed. So blessed. So I never cry no blues, I sing praises instead. Come on, band, you're blessed too. Situation's ugly, circumstances bad, keeping up appearances about to drive you mad. You're still blessed. You're still blessed. 'Cause God supplies your every need, so don't worry about nothing else. Yes, all you gotta do when things are hard, put a glide in your stride, a dip in your hip, a smile on your face, and this song on your lips, 'cause you're blessed. You're blessed. Don't ever cry no blues, just sing praises instead. Whoa, yeah. Don't let anybody tell you less, 'cause you know you're blessed. Don't listen to none of that crap, 'cause you know you're blessed, you're blessed. Yes, you're blessed. I see you, dog. Worry about nothing else from the highest. You are blessed. Yes, you are. Don't let nobody tell you you're less. From the highest, you're blessed. And don't you never cry no blues, things and praises instead. 'Cause you're blessed. Thank you. And the blessings and the band.
Let's thank her again. Let's thank the band. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but if you have any sickness in your body, put your hand there, wherever that is, because I speak my word for divine virtue to come forth out of your spirit right now and let it permeate your entire body. Healing was promised by the divine, and we speak it into existence right now, giving thanks for this because I know only God is able, and so it is. It's been on my mind recently. I had a conversation with somebody recently. I said, I'm just going to have a healing service, and I guess I didn't move on it, and I guess the Spirit just decided to have it this morning. And all I got to say is, amen. So this morning, I'm inspired by the 7 laws of co-creation. And this is a recording by Carolyn Myss, who also wrote The Interior Castle, Sacred Contracts, and Anatomy of the Spirit. She practices energy medicine and is considered a medical intuitive. She can read what's wrong with people when she meets them. And I'm impressed with that. The gifts that God has given to us are administered through us in all kinds of ways, and so I'm thankful for her this morning. But she says co-creation or choice harnesses the power of choice to transform our lives. Co-creation is about choice. We have the power. The question is, what choices do we make for it to manifest in our life? Ernest Holmes wrote about co-creation. He said, to become co-creating partners with the divine, we must cooperate with and comply with the spiritual laws of the universe. Evolution has brought us to the point of self-expression, and it cannot do more for us until we consciously work with it. We have been given all that we need to manifest everything that needs to manifest in our life, but it is based on our choices. So change your thinking, change your life, make your choices, and keep your change. Because you can change your thinking and change your life and lose and go turn back to all of the things that you didn't want before. So it's your choices going forward from that point that keep the change as a part of your life. Nature obeys us as we obey it. It all works together. And so we state what is our desire, and we allow the universe or the divine law to make it so. As we often say, I just need to know what. I do not need to know how. Now, if anybody says something, isn't that the first place where you go? The question is how. I just spoke a word of healing for my friend who is in Atlanta. The immediate thing that most people will think about is, well, how? How is not my problem. How is the divine's problem? I need to know what. It is time for us to start preparing ourselves to understand what we want in life and allow the Spirit to make it so. Because if you are only making decisions on what you think you can do, that's only half of the equation. It's this cooperation we have with the divine that allows amazing things to happen. We obey the nature, and it obeys us because we are working together. We shape our circumstances by following the principles that control them. Whatever your need is, you always speak your need. And this is my desire. I want healing. I want to overcome. I want more prosperity in my life. Whatever those things are, speak them forth. And do not feel insecure that you don't say it because it might not happen. Because this is where we go. I'm not going to say it because what if it doesn't happen? The point here is you are worried about how you're going to do it instead of how the universe or the Spirit is going to do it through you, through me. I think the same way. Can I get up and speak healing for somebody? Can I pray? But this is what we do in Science of Mind, regardless of whether you're a licensed practitioner or not. If you look past the condition and you look to what the truth is, you are practicing Science of Mind. Some of us have licenses. Fortunately, I got 30 of them? Nobody in this place should be sick. But but the point is that we can speak it into, don't you realize that life gets hard so that we become ever more faithful? It is easy to have faith over what you've conquered already. But what's coming up today and what's coming up tomorrow, can you have faith in that possibility, in recognizing what has happened before, that builds our faith. But there is nothing that presents itself to you that you are not capable of overcoming. And when I hit a wall and I feel like I'm not going to overcome, it's your responsibility to tell me that I can. Because I'm just like you. Of course, I have times of doubt and unbelief. But fortunately, I generally don't stay there long. Why? Because it gets so bad that you've got to hold on or give up. And I'm just not ready to give up on anything. I'm just not ready to give up. So my title this morning, I'm just getting to the title, 20 minutes in. Lord have mercy. I'm just becoming... I keep reaching back and I'm not sure that I pick up all my old habits well. My title this morning is Conscious Co-Creation is Choice. It is choice. So change your thinking, change your life, and make better choices to keep the change in your life. It's about making choices every day, all the way. The laws of co-creation focus on harnessing the power of choice to transform our lives. Transformation of our life is you become to be all that you were meant to be. It doesn't mean you become something else or someone else. It just means that you reach all of the potential, that the dreams that you have in life actually materialize. Now, Carolyn Myss teaches that the ability to choose is both the most important power that we have and the most misunderstood. The most misunderstood. Choice is power. You are exercising your gift of freedom, and you are exercising the power that resides within us all. I'm telling you, it will continue to get worse until we recognize the power, the co-creation power we have with the divine. Because then we come to understand what is possible. We transform our lives, according to her, by using these 7 laws of co-creation. We're only going to talk about one, but I'll give you the 7. The law of choice, the law of intention, the law of action, the law of trust, the law of cooperation, reflection, and gratitude. The law of choice is where it all starts. What choices are you making in your life? What choices am I making? And she says, not only does it shape our reality, it actually influences our biology. So intentional manifestation is the spiritual practice associated with choice, right? Because we have to have a practice to reinforce the principles that we say we are operating with. If you have our card, our bookmark that we give all of our first-time visitors, it's on one side, it says spiritual principles, the other side, it says practices. If you're part of this congregation and you don't understand spiritual principles and practices, tell them this is your first time here and tell them to give you a bookmark. Because we all need to know what are we designed for. The reason why we had those made is I'm sure people leave here and kind of go, what is going on in that place? What do they teach? They got this crazy man running across the platform. Half the time I notice on the video, I'm outside of the video frame. You know, I don't know when I got so animated. But spiritual principles and practices is what we are about. Because the principle is always true, but we have to get in our head by practices that is true. Because everything in life will tell you it's not true. Again, listen to the news. I only listen to the news these days one time a week just to know what you are dealing with. That's all. That's all I want to know. And let me tell you, it was a rough week. It was a rough week. And every week, I think, like, wasn't last week the worst? And it keeps happening, because if it ain't one thing, it's what? Another. Yes, it is. Intentional manifestation, the spiritual practice of intentional manifestation, is the same thing that we've always told people is about whatever you do is coming back. It's coming back. Sowing and reaping all mean the same thing. It is the law of circulation, that you cannot avoid karma. You can wait and think it's your next life if you want to, but I'm here to tell you, you're going to suffer now. I'm just letting you know, be careful what you do, because your karma is coming back now, not once you're dead. Sorry, just don't believe that, and this is my place, and I can say whatever I want. If you believe differently, fine. In the end, we both will know who was right. You're welcome. See, we practice, right? The creative process. It's all of what we mean about the creative process is change your thinking, change your life. That's exactly what it's saying. It is saying that there's a seed and there's a soil and there's a plant, right? The seed is the thought and the idea. The soil is our consciousness. It is our consciousness. What the seed we place in our consciousness, yes, the law is there to make it happen, but it also needs our cooperation, and the plant is the result. Now, the amazing thing about a seed is if the seed has the plant built in it already. So when I am telling you the thought that you have, that you place in consciousness, already has the manifestation available for it if you create and cultivate the environment for it to flourish. So this morning, I am stepping in the garden of your minds. I am stepping in the garden of your mind, and we're going to talk about the weeds in your mind. We're going to talk about the rocks in your mind. But there's also good ground there as well. The seeds that we place these seeds in our consciousness, and yes, it is our consciousness, and the law, or the soul of the universe, or divine receptivity, the creative medium, all of those terms are the same. That is where the seed actually germinates, where the seed goes and comes to life. Instead of being dormant, it comes to life and it starts flourishing, first by doing what? Creating roots. The seed reaches and makes roots long before you ever see the evidence of the plant, if the plant is going to survive. So think about the seed and the plant this way. It's cause and effect. What cause are you putting in, what belief are you putting in, will determine what comes out. What's even a stronger thing is the things that you do will also come back. The plant is in the seed. The manifestation of your thought, of your intention, is already evident if it cultivates an environment that believes that it is so. Our lives are a driving force by shaping and it shapes our lives. Our thoughts shape our lives. It may seem small and insignificant, the decisions that you make every day, but that's not true. They're not insignificant at all. They guide the process of how the creative process operates in our life. Now, fortunately, every thought that you have and that I have does not manifest. Now, it's fascinating to me because people will tell me, well, I don't want to say that because it might happen. And I go, well, you're some fantastic manifester that you can think something once and it manifests automatically. Well, then why can't the positive that you believe in manifest instantly? See, our consciousness is the collective thoughts and ideas that we have. You know, have you ever met a pessimistic person? Surely it's not you. Surely it's not you. But you know those people who are pessimistic. No matter what happens, right? They can always find what is wrong, honey. That's consciousness. That is consciousness because they don't see the right because they're looking for the wrong. I can tell you something else. We have to watch ourselves for the beliefs that we have that we are unaware of. You hear an affirmation and immediately within yourself you hear no. That's your unknown and underlying belief. Now, it may be something you want to reject, but you haven't even considered it. You automatically say it is not so. That is evidence of our consciousness. It lets us know that we have a belief that we probably are not aware of. Our habits, we transform our lives by every act and thought that we make, and exceptionally, it becomes an issue based on our practices. Because what we think, we end up doing. Now, do you do things that you don't think about? You do things automatically, right? It's your consciousness. It's your consciousness. Some things are physiological. Okay, you go to sleep and wake up, but it's all in our consciousness. And so we're going to talk about the soil by which we plant seeds within to determine how things are going to manifest. We need to have a positive mindset associated with what we believe and what we want. Now, your needs and wants may morph or change or mature over time, but that's fine. You get to change your thinking and change your life. If you have a thought that doesn't work for you, you can replace it with one that does. That's why we tell you that every time. Every time. You can change where you are, but we determine our future based off of our behavior, which results from our thoughts. The key is to recognize the impact of our thoughts and what they have when we choose and how they move us forward. They move us forward from where we are towards our desires. Because we've been talking for the last few weeks about the issue of desire. Why am I talking about desire? Because within our hearts, there is a desire. There is something that we want to manifest or experience that it's kind of a hidden thing. You know it's there, you trust that it's there, but you may not say anything about it. And I want to speak forth the desires in your heart because I believe that we will never be satisfied until we manifest the desires of our heart. It will always be just a little bit less than what we want. So we have to nurture this positive environment of our consciousness or the soil that we place these seeds within. Old parable of the seed. A person, a farmer, a sower goes out and spreads seeds. And spreads the seeds over different kinds of ground. All theological talk is metaphorical. It's all metaphorical. It always is a description. So the story is to teach us something that is bigger than the detail. So the seed goes out and it is spread on ground. Now, how the seed matures and germinates and becomes a plant is based on the type of ground or soil the seed is planted in, which I am saying this morning and equating to our consciousness. Now, there are different types of soil. Some of the soil is hard, some of it is shallow, some of it is full of weeds, but then there is also good ground. And as we spread the seeds, or as we have thoughts and place it in our own consciousness, these are the seeds. Now, you have to create an environment where the seed will thrive. If not, what happens is the seed never gets a root. And if it never gets a root, it is not going to be strong enough to yield the plant or the result that we are looking for. If you plant seeds on rocky ground, then the seed cannot typically make itself and create roots in a rock. It needs soil. So we have rocks, we have obstructions. The obstructions are our doubt and our belief before we ever get started. I have this thought, I want things to be different, and the first thing that comes to mind is, no, it won't, no, it can't, I'm sure it won't, that preacher up there is crazy, all that kind of stuff. You know, or you approach it with, well, God, just prove it. Just prove it. Make me believe that this stuff works. Don't try that, y'all, because it will show you. And you gonna make your, as my mother would say, you make your bed hard before you lay down, okay? Don't do it, don't do it. You can sow seeds among thorns and weeds. a weed. Who needs to cultivate a weed? They just grow. No matter what you do, they will grow. They will seep under the concrete and find a way to grow up between the crack and the concrete. Have you ever seen a weed that actually went through the concrete? Now, your rose bushes don't do that, but a weed does. The doubt and unbelief that exists within our consciousness, we don't have to cultivate it. It's automatically there because it is a function of our culture. Our culture says, be happy with what you have and be thankful you can't have any more. Only the top 10% can have it. That's a lie. That's just a lie. So when we have these ideas that that are not possible for these things to come forth, understand that they are a weed. What do you do with a weed? You pull a weed up by the root, or it is coming back. So our doubt and our unbelief, we need to find out why we have the doubt and the unbelief to uproot the weed. But at the same time, there is good soil. There is a good consciousness. And this is where the seed grows. Now think about it. One seed, one tomato seed gives you what? A vine full of fruit or tomatoes. One seed with a large amount of fruit. It is called the harvest. And so our thoughts and our ideas that we place in consciousness go in as a seed and they come out as a plant. They're much more. So everything that we do, good or bad, every thought that we have, good or bad, comes back to us more than what we planted. It's the way the universe works. So we have to change our thinking from all of what we cannot have and what we cannot do to the things that I want and desire, even though it may be hard for me to believe that it is so. But we all want to bear fruit, right? It's the same process of when we give. When we give love, when we give money, whatever the things that we give and we plant in intentional manifestation comes back to us bigger than it was before. Another example, if you put money in the bank takes your money, makes more money off of your money, and then they give you a little bit more than you put in. Hopefully. Hopefully. But that is the way it works. There's always a higher yield out of what we plant and cultivate. But it is all based on our receptivity. We can manifest anything if we are receptive to the possibility and the power that it can come forth. That is the quality of the soil, is the receptivity. And can we receive the thought that we place in consciousness? Can we be open to the idea that it might manifest? Because we can approach life one of two ways. Either your hand is open, ready to receive, or it is clenched in a fist, which means you cannot receive anything. So is your heart and your fist and your receptivity open to the possibilities? Because here's the why. There are hearers and there are people who understand. And there is a difference between the two because you can hear it and it not manifest in your life because you don't understand it. And we have to all hang in there. So if the crazy minister that up there is talking says something that you don't understand, seek out an answer. By the way, the practitioners and all the ministers are here. I got a whole lot of people to answer the question. They can even correct me if they have enough confidence in themselves to do so. But but you don't want to let it go. You have these questions. It is that quest. This is how we build up our confidence and build up our faith and our ability to manifest in our lives by getting understanding from what we hear. Not just hearing it, but getting understanding. So nurture your soil, nurture your conscience, because you need to grow. Now, how do you change the quality of the soil that you are planting in? By planting different seeds, by making different choices. That's what we do. If it's not working for you, are you determined to continue to do the same thing and expect a different result? What is that the definition of? Insanity. Now, if you got the power to think you're going to overcome anyway, go ahead. I'm taking the easy route. I'm planting it in my consciousness. I'm believing it is so. And why can I do that? Because I've seen it work so many times in my life and in other people's lives that I know. That's why community is so important. Because on our own, we just think it's all about us. And it's not. You need other people who can talk about overcoming to encourage you in times that you are weak. We need faith when we don't know how, but we trust in the process. The intentional manifestation is, I don't trust the process. I'm going to treat you well, even though I don't like you. Because what I want back, the karma I want back in life, is a blessing. Your problem with mistreating me is your problem. My blessing, the fruit, the plant that I am manifesting, is determined by the seed I plant. So are you living and reacting to what everybody else is planting, or are you living and rejoicing out of the seeds that you plant? And the only thing you have to ask yourself is, do you need to make a different choice? Your choices is co-creation, because the divine is there to make it possible based off of what we place and faith we place in it. The seed has inherent power. So your good thoughts, your positive thoughts about everything, please, every day, please, regardless to the circumstances in the story, please focus on peace. Our jumping on the story and screaming and hollering about everything that is going on is not really helping things to change. It just doesn't. Can you overcome? Can you look at the conditions of the way the world is right now and know that God is still good, and all that is good and all that is perfect is behind all of that? Let me give you another example. We say we're a whole, perfect, and complete. Your behavior is not whole, perfect, and complete. No, it's not. But you are. But the conditions in your life, or the behavior in your life, as you reach back into all that you really are at your essence, the godness in you comes out. Yes. It comes out. It starts transforming. It's the people you haven't seen for a while, and when they see you, they go, "My, have you changed?" Because I used to hate to see you coming, you know. But this is what happens. We change. One thought, one day at a time. Thank God for people who have been in recovery to say it's just one day at a time. It's just one thought at a time. Because immediately I may have another bad thought, but I need to replace it again with a good one. So my question to you is, what are you trying to manifest in your life? What is your desire? Once you figure out what your desire is, then you can let the creative process allow it to manifest in your life. If we don't figure out what it is, we get whatever is going on rather than exactly what we want. Your power at all times is your ability to choose. Choose life. And so it is.